Hello, I'm Perry from Rennet and Rind, and I'm talking to you today because you would have received a mystery cheese box, but not only just a mystery cheese box, a Christmassy edition. So we went overboard with this one. I matured not just 5 cheeses, 6 cheeses, and we popped some charcuterie in there and a lovely chutney to actually complement it, as well as some other things as well which we put in there. So in your box that you would have received, which is one of these like this, you would have got your cheese judging score sheet, so you can have fun with that at the Christmas table. Of course, your tasting notes if you don't want to listen to me. A little bit of cheesy quiz fun. There is the answers in there, so no cheating. How to care for your cheese, and most importantly, I ate more British cheese poster to hang it with pride and be very happy about it. So I'm joining you today from, for the first time ever, actually in our maturing room. So this is where the magic happens. This is what makes our cheese so special. We have our own maturing rooms, which I look after, and I go through all the cheeses every week and make sure their profiles are absolutely perfect for the mystery cheese boxes. But about sort of 2-3 months ago, I started maturing some of these cheese specifically for Christmas Day. So getting all that refining in. So if you don't know who I am and you've never bought from Rennet and Rind before, I am Perry. I'm a world cheese judge, I'm a qualified affineur, and I'm a world cheese judge for last year in Bergamo, this year in, last year in Bergamo, year before in Bergamo. So hopefully I'm qualified enough to actually mature these cheeses and give you the best experience of British artisan cheese for Christmas Day. So the first cheese we have up is this one here, which is a famed cheese. It's done so well for us this year, but I've really tweaked with the profile, brought it on a little bit further to get what we always want and the feedback that I love from it, and that is Baron by God, made by Johnny and Dulcie Crickmore over in Bungay in Suffolk. It's a Brie de Meaux style, but made in the UK. You know, what more do you want? You know, the British taking it to the French. That's what I always like to see. So yeah, I mean, that's the style of it. Unpasteurized milk, Montbéliard cows, really rich cream that you get from that milk. And the breakdown is absolutely perfect. If you have a look at yours, pick yours up, you can see that is just the perfect texture for any Brie to have, which is just where we want it to be. Perfect Brie for Christmas Day. So let's just cut some off and give that a try, and let's see if my profile's maturing has all paid off. Beautiful texture, unctuous, buttery, gets caught between the teeth, nice grassy notes, beautiful savouriness, and saltiness is so well balanced. A nice little finish of milk that's in there. Beautiful Brussels sprouts for Christmas Day. That's that flavour that we're getting, the Brussels sprouts. That is the best example I've had of Baron by God all year, and you guys get a treat on Christmas Day. You know, or earlier, you know, if you want to get into it. Second cheese we have up is Halford. It's made in Wales. These guys have been making a cheddar style for years. What we want is some kind of build up of mellow flavours through. You know, I craft these boards to be really specific to kind of, you know, enjoy the whole experience together. So we've got Halford here, cheddar style, a little bit nutty on the nose, grassy notes, typical acidity that's in there. Let's give it a taste. Good chewy texture. That's what we want from a cheddar. You know, it's so important to chew your cheese and kind of open the mouth a little bit. You know, 5 simple flavours in the mouth, on the tongue. Sweet, salty, acidity, savoury, bitterness, only 5. In the nose, 50,000. That's why it's so important to get that oxygen flowing over the tongue and into the cheese to unlock these beautiful flavours that it has, this lemony, zesty acidity running all the way through it. This beautiful underline of savouriness there, this light Brazil nuttiness that's coming through, this lasting flavour that works really well. So that was Halford, which is beautiful. Another British cheese from our Isles, which hopefully you agree is a remarkable style of cheddar for Christmas Day. So next cheese we have up is Rachel, made in Somerset by White Lake. One of the key distinguishers of this cheese is that it's actually white. So everyone asks me normally, why are goat's cheese white? Why is cow's yellow? Now, cows can't absorb carotene, that orange colouring, carrots, in grass. So they don't pass that through to the milk, but they pass that through the milk, the cows. The sheep do not, the sheep and goat do not. And that's why you get that whiteness, because it's just pure white milk. So this is wash rind cheese. It's got a beautiful Chrysosporium mould on it. I've got an example in our maturing rooms. If I've got it to hand, maybe it's gone missing. Maybe someone stole it. This is a working room, so I did have it here to show you. They come in large disc shapes, which are almost like they're matured in a colander, and we really promote this activity on the rind. Sometimes we wash them here as well to kind of let that mould migrate to other cheeses. So beautiful light note that's there, grassy, nutty, yeah, well mainly nutty actually. You know, that's the overarching smell that you're getting, a pure sweetness. We've matured these for a bit longer because we want a little bit of vibrancy and punchiness. Texture's beautiful, it's like a roux, it's slightly granular, which is quite nice. Not too granular, pliant, you know, which is good. And that sweetness has kind of knocked out our two other experiences, and that's why I select these boards and eat them in this specific way that's on your tasting notes. You know, I put them in order for a reason, to make sure you eat them in that order. Now the next cheese I'm really excited about, because British cheesemakers have had a really tough time during lockdown, and the next cheese, which is made by Juliana Lilpat, is a real new cheese. It was born in lockdown and it's a cool style. So once again, we kind of have this white interior and it looks a bit like a goat's cheese, but actually it's cow. And that's because there's a lot of moisture in this cheese. And the moisture kind of waters down that colouring that we're talking about that cows have. And this is a real cool experimental cheese. It's a geo rind, there's slight wrinkles that are in there. And what we're expecting, so you're still getting a little bit of bite, a little bit of spiciness at the back from the Rachel that's coming through. So Lipiat, made by Juliana, emigrated to America, originally from Hungary, now in the UK, makes a legendary cheese called Baronet, now makes Lipiat, you know, which is, I commissioned her to make these, so I gave her a call, which, you know, all cheesemakers had a really tough time this period. Put a very large order in for these for you guys. So this hasn't been matured by me, these haven't touched these rooms, they've been directly made by Juliana just for you at home. So no nose whatsoever. I can't smell anything. Maybe a milky lacticness, nothing, but that's kind of what we want from it. Flavour. Ah, like beautiful chalkiness it's got about it. This really cool mix between dry, but actually really thick set. Coats the tongue massively. Nice neutral chalkiness that's coming through. Slightly alkaline in a very weird way. And coming from the back, you know, really nice, pleasant, lemony acidity that's there, with a slight cow kind of note to it as well. A little bit farmyardy, but not too much. Really neutral. Finishing, that's a lovely note. That note at the end, finishing on a white wine vinegariness that's there, and that's coming through, which is really stunning. You know, that's testament to British artisan cheese making. Started making that just in lockdown, and it's on your board today. Next cheese we have up is a favourite of mine, Cornish Kern, which is made by Catherine Mead down in Cornwall. It's been a regular appearer on my mystery cheese boxes because it's just so beautiful. Catherine Mead made Cornish Yarg. You know, if you meet a good chef and he doesn't know what Cornish Yarg is, then he's not a good chef. They are responsible, one of the cheeses responsible for the British cheese renaissance in like 2004, whenever that was. And yeah, she's a fantastic cheesemaker. Kern is really cool. I wrote an article recently on it because I kind of feel like it's our view into how ingenious and the ingenuity of British cheesemaking. We've never made an Alpine style so successful as this, and this is the closest to me that we have of a French cheese called Comté, and I love the fact that we start making it in the UK. So we've got those lactic notes still remaining, that milkiness that's there from the Lipiat. You know, you've got a real strong nutty smell, refined nuts. So that I could probably pinpoint is Brazil, kind of Brazil nut. It was just quite nice. Flavour. Lovely amount of that roux texture. You know, unnoticeably granular. I love that texture in Kern. Coats the mouth, nuttiness is intense, which is really good. Excuse me. which is really good. That comes through, that Brazil nut comes through and then slowly dissipates into a milky almond, which is lovely. Makes it really moreish into these caramels, slightly like mapley bacon, which is lovely. Really nice. And finally, you know, where would we be on Christmas Day without Stilton? You know, I tried to think, you know, do I go a little bit left field of this, not do traditional Stilton? But Cropwell Bishop, made down in Nottinghamshire by the Scales brothers, has just been knocking out of the park recently, and they're so good, and I think you just deserve to have a bit of Cropwell on Christmas Day. You know, that musty note that's there is there, that digestive kind of biscuity kind of ness is there. Let's go for the taste. Beautiful light texture, aroma and white wine kind of acidity that's there, moving into a marmitey savouriness. The saltiness is playing around with that. Finishes just so stunning. I love blue cheese, and for me that is absolutely perfect, which is brilliant. So there are your 6 cheeses that you can enjoy with your friends and family around the Christmas table. And we put in some charcuterie from Tempest, who are made by Drew Baker and Tom Whitaker, ex-master chefs, went into charcuterie making. And I want to tell you a small story of why I think they're the best in Britain. Tempest I met, a couple of years ago now. I met Tom, and he was slicing off some charcuterie for me. And I kind of had these preconceptions. I've tried a lot of British charcuterie. He was telling me the story how they use only black pig, it's lived for 2 years. Their size of these pigs are sometimes 200, 250 kilos, something monster like that. You know, most pigs are young and they're 60 kilos. They're quite, they're still big, but so these massive monsters of pigs that have lived, they've got fibre in them, and they really don't want to betray the flavour of the meat. And that's what I love about them. So I've got their Parma ham. You've got 4 styles in there. This is the King Peter ham, which is named by Tom's dad, who sadly, I think, passed away. It's, the smell of it is really neutral. There's that just kind of note of meat behind it, and that's what I love about them. Let's give it a try. I can't resist. It's got that, it's crunchy. There's some resistance in it. It's just not dissipating, not that stuff that you get that's wafer thin in the supermarkets. And the flavour, it's just stunning. The fat is vanilla, the meatiness is there, that saltiness is there. I honestly do believe that it's the best charcuterie, in the country, and you're in for a treat to put that out in front of your family and mix and match between your cheeses. The last one we have is from Rosebud. I always talk about Rosebud and, best preserve makers in the UK. And they've made this one specially for us. I know it might be Christmas Day, but this is a Boxing Day chutney. And it's got cranberries, apples, spices in it. And if you kind of take out a little bit there, let me have a smell. Christmas Day in a jar, right? Can't beat that. So what I'm going to try this with, because I think this would work with a number of them, but it is a balance between the acidity from the cranberries, some sugar. So I'm not sure. So you guys are going to have to experiment, but I'm going to go for the blue actually with this. So let's, I'll put this on here. Down the hatch. That's so Christmassy. You can't get more Christmassy than that. Cranberry coming through, that light spice. Absolutely stunning. So that's everything for Christmas Day, and thank you so much for supporting us, not only at Christmas, but this year. It's been such a tough time for our industry, and I sincerely love you all for supporting us, supported British artisan cheese. We have been blown away by how many cuts that we've had to do to send these boxes out, and we just love putting artisan cheese in British homes, and the comments that I get are amazing. So please continue with the comments and let me know how much you enjoyed your cheese. And we've got big things coming next year. We're going to get better at this. We're going to be back on track. COVID, we're going to kick out to the side in a matter of months with the vaccine right around the corner. I want you to all stay positive you know, subscription boxes next year, events next year. Let's get some of you down to the farms where they make this stuff. Let's get some of you in this room to mature stuff. Just drop me a line if you're interested. We always love to teach about maturing cheese and cheese in general. So just give me a shout, you know, Rennet and Ryan, Google us and let us know. But all, please do have an absolutely stunning Christmas. I know it's going to be tough and less family, but it'll be all behind us, and it's a nice day just to think of something other than how tough the world is right now. So Merry Christmas from all of us at Rennet and Rind, and thank you so much.